This is my new son. I may or may not have fallen asleep with him in my arms last night. May have. Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Today I'm about to watch episode 5 of The Bad Batch. Last week was, I don't want to say a slower episode, but last week was a transitional episode. I like to call them that because it's basically it's getting from point A to C, and last week was point B. We introduced, if you haven't watched last week, absolute spoilers, but we introduced Fennec Shand to the story, which I'm assuming that she is working for the cloners, because I don't see anybody else hiring her to go after Omega. I don't know that anybody else other than the Empire would know about Omega. And the Empire really shouldn't need bounty hunters at this point. They just put out an APB because, they run the galaxy. They should be able to find her on her own. But it is possible that they hired her. But it seems like that wouldn't have been, it was on the down low. The whole operation was on the down low. Seems like if the Empire was involved, she wouldn't need to operate like that. So I really believe that it's the cloners that have hired her to get Omega back. Now, what that means is still up in the air on whether or not, they need her cells specifically in order to continue their cloning program. I'm not 100% sure on what is going on with their new cloning program. I'm hoping we get more answers before the end of the season. Right now, we're only not even halfway through the season at the moment. So, plenty of episodes left. I do hope we get some sort of reveal this week. Maybe something about Wrecker's chip, if it's malfunctioning or not. Because if this week they don't show that, then I'm just going to assume that that was him just hitting his head, and it's maybe not the chip. But who knows? I'm just looking forward to another good episode.
It's not an exact fit.
I get my own comm device.
Technically, it was crosshairs.
Echo, what's your position? Over.
It's not a toy, Omega.
Copy that.
Why are we going to Ord Mantell?
I know an informant there named
That conch droid.
who might be able to help.
He has a point.
Right, not a toy.
I freaking love Omega so much. Wait, we're on Ord Mantell? Have we seen it in canon? Like, actually
The place.
been to the planet?
What's your deal, Tiny?
You're Sid.
You're sharper than your friends over there.
I found Sid.
You pull a job for me, and I get the information you want. That's how this mercenary thing works.
Mercenary?
Clearly, the kid's the brains of your operation.
What kind of job? You alright?
Yeah, it's nothing.
According to
It's this
CNN,
freaking chip.
the Zygerian slave.
It's still bothering him.
Ruins.
Echo, you're the eyes in the sky. Wrecker, draw the Zygerian forces out. Tech and I will grab the kid.
Not a problem.
Huh. Wrecker, be a tank. I've played this RPG.
Hang on, I think I got company.
The hell?
A mission of this nature requires planning. Assure your employer. Now, there's no need for threats.
That looked like Bib Fortuna for some reason. Just the voice. It was a Twi'lek, but I can't tell.
Do that one more time, and you'll be...
Save your energy.
Relax, Moochie. We're the cavalry.
What are our odds out of this, Tech?
Are we
I am not
sure she's
So
Moochie?
much for being smart.
We won't need a comm to signal her.
4 new slaves to add to my collection.
Hmm.
Strong ones, too.
The Republic outlawed slavery.
We're not in a republic anymore, Scug.
You're lucky we don't have our gear, because this would go very differently for you.
Subtle, Echo. Subtle.
Operation will flourish once again. But if you do not comply,
What? Omega, don't get yourself eaten. Sounds that a Rancor?
I wasn't sneaking. I was unlocking.
That is totally a Rancor. It's a baby Rancor. That's Moochie. Oh no. I know which Rancor this is, and that was Bib Fortuna.
Rancor is not the distraction I was anticipating.
That's their problem. We're getting out of here.
Uni Nagamuchi! Muchi! Muchi!
Knew it. Seems like that should have been intel they had, but whatever.
If we don't capture her, we don't get our intel from Sid.
I didn't realize Echo's helmet fit over like that. That's awesome.
She's doing fine on her own.
Alright, time to let Moochie fight it out. Ow. Hunter's just awesome. The cross, or the bow from the previews. Okay.
Rancors adhere to a social hierarchy.
Uh,
You have to challenge the Alpha for authority.
Oh, that I can do.
You gotta beat up Moochie. Huh. They're both just exhausted.
She's kind of cute up close.
Nicely handled, Wrecker.
Yeah.
I'm graced by the presence of Jabba's right-hand man.
Yep.
Watokpe Jabba Nagazizi.
Love it.
Konchi Pudumuchi.
She's riding Moochie.
That's a good Rancor.
You're gonna make me feel bad for what Luke has to do to Moochie later.
Takitolpa Bonki Donko.
Bye, Moochie.
You, dark and broody, my office. Your bounty hunter is Fennec Shand. She's new to the scene. You're gonna need two things: friends and money. Mostly money. I guess it's a good thing you met me then, isn't it? There's more where that came from, if you're looking for work.
I'll think about it.
Don't worry. I'm good with secrets.
All right, another solid episode. I feel like a broken record because I said that last week. But yeah, it didn't move the story forward a lot, but it did give us a few really big things, I think. One, the chip is still going wrong in Wrecker. That wasn't a throwaway. I have a feeling that's not going to come into play until maybe later in the season. We're going to see it hinted at a few more times, and then finally it's going to switch on, and that's when they're going to have to figure out how to disable the chips. So I really think that's coming. The other thing is, I think we finally found out what they're going to end up doing. I think they are going to be mercenaries. That's what I always assumed would happen. I think a lot of us did. But yeah, they're going to start taking jobs for someone like this so they can keep making money and be able to get the resources they need to, say, free Crosshair, or maybe to remove the chip, you know, because they've got to pay for all this stuff and they've got to live. So I could see this continuing on, and if somebody like Sid, these underworld connections, could keep them hidden, if as long as they're valuable, they can stay hidden. So I think that's what we're really looking at here, and I have a feeling, I have this weird feeling Fennec is going to, I don't want to say become a good guy, but end up allied with them to a degree. I mean, I think she's going to stay kind of a villain for a while, but I think something's going to happen and there will be a turn that causes her to, and not join them, but again, be an ally. Somebody that, okay, we can call on her later in next season or down the line. And that's kind of where I'd put Sid right now. I'm feeling Sid's not going to be their main go-to in every week, but certain weeks, maybe every 3 episodes, you're going to get Sid giving them a job and new information that they need. Eventually, I have a feeling she's either going to completely betray them or become one of their best friends. It's hard to say right now. Such a new character and could go either way. But the other cool thing, which you saw me freak out when I was like, that's Bib Fortuna. It just sounded like Bib Fortuna, and then to have the Rancor show up, and that's when it clicked for me. Obviously, that was like, oh no, Muchi is the Rancor. The Rancor is the same one that fought Luke in Return of the Jedi, and that he had to kill. Oh no, that gives me mixed feelings. I liked Muchi in this episode, but Muchi tried to eat Luke and did eat several people, so I'm very conflicted on my feelings right now. But it's still it was a very cool callback is what that was. And the other interesting thing is the fact that we're starting to see more ramifications of the Empire taking over. Slavery, these slavers were feeling real confident now. Oh, we've got the Empire now. We can go back to doing business like we used to rather than the way it was under the Republic. Okay, that's a big tell for what the Empire is like right now. The Empire does not care about slavery, which we kind of know because they started enslaving Wookiees and other species. But this is the first signs of it in this era. This era fully embracing. No, the Empire has no problems really with slavery. And I think we're going to see more and more of that as the show continues, but it is a cool nod to the changing galaxy, because now these slavers, they were feeling real good about the fact that they could get to business now. It's such an icky feeling to see in almost every one of these episodes. You see some change to what the Republic was versus the Empire, and it's always, I don't want to say subtle, because it's not. Well, it's not always subtle, but it's not sweeping changes every single episode. It's, oh, there's this change, and now there's this change happening, and now there's this change. So it's just all these changes keep continuing to happen until we're going to see the Empire we all know. All right, what did you think of this episode? Leave your comments below. Did you catch something I maybe didn't this week? When do you think Wrecker's chip is going to malfunction? Do you think Fennec is going to join them? Is she against them? Is she working for the Kaminoans? Whatever your theories, leave them below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe to see more content like this, as well as share this with friends to grow this little community a bit more. All right, and before I go, as always, please take care of yourselves and please take care of each other. Thanks for watching.